Salutations everyone, and welcome to my For Glory guide for Peach. Another very interesting character in the roster that not many people know where she lies on the tier list. She's very underutilized. I think possibly the most underrated character in the entire roster. Not many people have, put in the time to try to figure her out. People are disappointed that she's not, amazing like she was in Melee. Her turnips are slower and what have you, but she actually has a ton of tools and is one of the most technical characters in the entire game. With her floating mechanic, with the turnips, with her aerials, and the chick's got a lot to offer. This is a damsel in defense. She is absolutely no pushover. So with Peach, you have a very floaty character, literally floating, in that she can float if you hold your good old jump button. You also have the Parasol, which is not great for vertical recoveries, but is a consistent hitbox when it's out, and is a pretty good kill move once you get to higher percents, and with a little bit of rage, does never hurt. All of her aerials are fantastic. Her down air is a great approach option. There's the Parasol killing. Up air can kill at really high percents, and it's just a very good juggling move. Kind of slow. All her aerials are pretty slow except for Nair. So that's going to be your faster aerial, and the only really one safe on approach coming back from the stage. Otherwise, it's just everything's way too laggy. Fair she is one of the greatest fairs in the entire game. She is the fairest of them all. The fair is going to be your main killing move. You can do a retreating fair approach option to apply some pressure. It is not safe on shield. None of her aerials really are, and there's the fair killing right there. Just a little bit of rage on that Meta Knight and take care of that stock. And her bear is a little bit faster than her fair. A decent amount of range, can kill at really high percents, and it's decently fast. It could be faster, it could have more range, but there's just nothing bad about pretty much any of her moveset. There's some use that you don't see being used from Peach too often. Her neutral B, her counter by pulling Toad out of a warp zone or something, I don't know. And her side B, the old Peach Butt of Justice. But you always have the back air if you want a little bit of that badonk action to work for you. But she really doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses. You're going to be melee killing with your forward air, your forward smash, which has 3 different iterations with 3 different properties in your frying pan, your tennis racket, and your golf club, which is going to be your strongest. Frying pan obviously having more vertical knockback, and your tennis racket more horizontally. So with Peach, you'll be killing with earlier percents, fair, up smash, and forward smash. Once you get to higher percents, you're going to start killing with your down smash, with your back air, with your back throw, with your dash attack, and with your up air. And at really high percents, you start killing with forward tilt. You can start killing with your up tilt even. You can start killing with side B, Toad, depending on percentages. So she unlocks like a lot, like another kill move every 20% that she gets on her opponent, and with rage, that just helps even more so. And better to be lucky than to be good. The bomb ob turnip, very nice way to close out that game. For those you don't know, let's go over the turnips. Your normal turnip is going to deal 9% damage. Your winking turnip is going to do 13% damage. Dot eyes is going to do 16% damage, and then you start pulling the crazy shit. Stitch face is 30% damage. That thing will kill relatively early. Does good shield pressure, or shield damage if your opponent already has a smaller shield, and can definitely net yourself the kill. So be wary if you pull out a Stitch face, because that thing is very valuable. Bomb obs, as you saw me pull in the last game, that is a 1 out of 250 chance, and that'll of course do 32% damage. It'll kill your opponents as early as 40 or 30%. So be very, very wary when you pull these things to make sure that you make them count. You can also pull out a Mr. Saturn. That is a 1 in 166% chance. That'll do 6% damage. He will stay on the field as long as he doesn't lemming walk off the side and kill himself. See, the turnip is actually very good off stage. I get that Ness so low that he can't see his PK Thunder very well, so sometimes Ness, mains can have trouble with that. If they're just too low, they can't get it just perfectly. Also, if you have a tethering opponent, if they grab the ledge with their tether and are at the very bottom of their tether, a turnip will kill. It'll knock them out of their tether, and usually your tether opponents won't have very great vertical recovery, so it'll kill a Link, a Toon Link, a Zero Suit Samus possibly, definitely a Lucas. If they're at the end of their tether and they have not retracted yet, get hit by the turnip and it's going to be game over for them. Mr. Saturn, of course, will break shields. The dude he eats them up for breakfast. It's a one-shot kill with those shields on Mr. Saturn. So if you pull a Mr. Saturn, a Stitch Face, or a Bomb Mob, make sure to use them. Make them count. Pressure your opponent with float cancel dares and retreating fairs. Stuff that they want to shield. And if they keep that shield up, you can hit with that Saturn or Stitch Face, or you can tee up on him and knock that Ness as he comes back to the stage there with the 9-iron. So definitely be wary of the rotation that your forward smash is in. It'll start off with your driver and then go to your frying pan or your drying pan, and then to your tennis racket. So if you want to make sure you have the right one in the right situation, you can cycle through them, especially on a shield broken opponent. You have plenty of time. So with Peach, she's got a fairly good neutral game. Try to get him with the up smash right there, because there is intangibility on the hand and the head of up smash. There's also intangibility on the hand of Peach in her down tilt, which is a fantastic combo starter. Her combo starter's pretty simple. Down air is a great shield pressure move. It also sends the opponent vertically, so you can start with some juggling strings or what have you, depending on where it sends them. You can hit with the up air or a parasol or a back air, or punish their landing. You can down tilt into up air at high percents and then catch it with a parasol, and that will kill a Fox, not one of the heavier characters in the game. And I did have a little bit of rage on me, so that's one of the earlier instances you will start killing with the parasol. Unfortunately, there's no fantastic combos to go into it. Your best bet is a high percentage down tilt into a double jump parasol. And sometimes you can get it after an up air, because they'll want to not get hit by a second up air, so you can drop below them, float, wait to the appropriate time, and hit him with the parasol. So, like I said, combo starters, your down tilt, you can go down tilt into Nair, which will set up a jab lock combo situation, a forced get up, so you can hit him with whatever you want. You can go down tilt into up air or a bear, depending on the percentage. At higher percents, down tilt into double jump parasol. Down throw into bear is almost a true combo at most percents. Sometimes you have to jump a little bit higher to land that. On very low percent fast fallers, you can actually down throw into forward smash. You can test the waters, see if they shield it, see if they try to jump out of it. It is very, very percentage and opponent's airspeed dependent. But you can hit it. The forward smash actually isn't very slow, so sometimes you can get that surprise out there, and Foxes and Falcos are pretty easy to get to do what you want them to do. I tried to get him into the Firefox mode, leave himself vulnerable, and nail him with the up smash, which, like I said, has intangibility on the hand and the head. So you have great approach options. You can retreat fair, but that is not safe on shield. You could do a float cancel nair, a float cancel dare. You also have the turnips, of course. She doesn't have great protection against projectiles, but your turnip will trade with many of them, and you're not going to be pulling, a Stitch Face or a Bomb Mob or a Saturn too often, since the percentages of that are, you know, less than 1%. They're pretty terrible. Stitch Face is gonna be your most common one, so definitely be wary about which turnip you are pulling. And it is nice since those turnip faces will always be facing the camera, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. And hit the Ryu with the parasol. Got plenty of rage on that. I'm very curious about, you know, if more people could start optimizing a Peach on where she would land on the tier list. She isn't as great as some of the other Super Mario characters out there. Not as great as, you know, the brothers, not as great as Rosalina. But I think she's pretty much on par with Wario, I think, on the tier list. She's definitely more consistent than Wario is, because you don't have to worry about nailing that waft to seal kills and to, you know, secure victories. And she's not, you know, as great as Yoshi either, but better than Bowser or Bowser Jr. I would say close to Wario. More consistent, I would say better than Wario, just not many people use her. She's a very technical character. She's a very difficult character to learn. To, you know, master those float cancel dares and those float cancel nairs. And she has a little bit of survivability on her, as you definitely can see. She has good horizontal recovery with that float mechanic. Her vertical recovery leaves a little bit to be desired. The parasol doesn't have a lot of great verticality to it, and you also have to face the stage with up B, otherwise you will just float to your death. Unfortunately, Ryu's bear, a little bit faster than Peach's bear, so I'm not going to two-stock this guy at like 200%, but that's perfectly fine. So you have to face the stage with the up B to snap to the ledge. So practice your B reversals, and hitting with that fair is always the greatest. We haven't had a joke game against a Little Mac in a while, so we're just going to style on this little guy. And I wondered, what's going to happen if I do this? I'm going to float here, float up, and oh, what a gentleman. He saved me while killing himself. That is a true gentleman right there, and he'll just run off the stage once again like a Little Mac main do. So here is the final game, a very intense game against Sheik, because, you know, I wanted to face another princess, but I ain't facing the weaker version of the princess. I'm facing the strongest version possible to really show what this Peach can do. I'm by no means a Peach master, but she has a lot of tools, a lot of mechanics, a lot of mix-ups, and a very good Peach is a very difficult matchup. One of the best players I've ever faced on For Glory was a Peach, and they just destroyed me. She has a fantastic combo game. Very complicated combo game, because you have to nail those down tilts, nail those nairs, get those jab block combos. Those float cancel aerials are very crucial to extending those combos. And here I saw that Sheik was, you know, trying to approach from off stage with the vanish. So you got to keep that in mind. Make sure that you know how your opponent handles certain situations, and that can leave them wide openings for certain attacks. Waited for it and punished with the up smash, which has that intangibility on the hand and the head, as you saw right there. So, you know, waited for that vanish and then punished accordingly with her second strongest smash attack. So it doesn't have a fantastic hitbox, but the up smash is quite strong. Very situational. There's not a whole lot of setups that Peach has to her kill moves. There's not very many setups in the up smash or forward smash or to fair. You just gotta, you know, pick your opportunities. Unfortunately, I get hit with the vanish there, as I was not on stage as of yet, because she is very vulnerable in the air, as one can imagine. She's a floaty that actually floats. You know, you gotta punish those landings with the grab. Her grab game, fairly good. Back throw is going to be, you know, the one that you can kill with. The down throw is going to be your combo starter. Try to hit bitches with turnips off stage, set up some possibilities, and if you get them off stage, a little bit of rage, back air, a little badonkadonk can seal the deal. So anyways, that is Peach for Glory. I'd be very curious to see someone actually utilize this character at the highest levels of competitive play and see where she lands. I would say better than Wario, not as good as Ike, not as good as Ryu, but, you know, in that echelon, better than Roy, better than Wario, just because she's more consistent. But yeah, A very fun character, a very technical character, a very difficult character, but one that is very rewarding. Just use your imagination. Use your frying pan as a drying pan. Be the queen of the court and tee off on your opponents. Thank you all for watching. If you see any of the characters' thumbnails on screen, they are available for their For Glory Guide videos in the playlist below. Let me know who you'd like to see me use in the future. Next week will be Olimar, and I will see you guys then.